So here is an example of a piece of paper that I'm planning on using. I've written on it. This is a 100-pound dull coated cover stock. It's 12 by 18 and I pay for a big ream, but on average this costs 12 cents per sheet for this paper. So we can see roughly by looking at the rulers here that this is 12 inches one way, excuse me. It's 12 inches this way, left to right, and it's 18 inches this way. Now, we're going to walk over to the printer, so excuse the movement. And the first thing we want to do on this printer is examine this chart. Let me turn this off to the side, excuse me. We want to examine this chart off the side of the printer. It does tell us that some secrets. It tells us that for 100-pound paper that this is going to need to be printed on heavyweight cardstock. Here is where it says that. We'll see right between 90 and 100-pound cover, and it tells us heavyweight cardstock over there. It also tells us here if which tray we need to put it in this case tray 1. It won't fit in tray 2, and it does not automatically do two-sided printing. We will have to flip this. All right, so I'm going to grab a piece of this paper out of my drawer. Pardon the interruption here. And I'm going to slide out the 11 by 17 paper that's already in there. Just pull it out. Now you'll want to put this back later, because other students use this on a regular basis, and it will mess them up if you put in the wrong paper. Now, or you don't switch it back. Now you want to knock out these spreader bars or pull them apart, put the paper in, and then tighten the spreader bars, and make sure that paper's tight in there. You'll see that this screen just changed. It didn't have this on there before. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to show you what the screen looked like before. It looks like this. Now, pardon the lighting here. I just slid out the paper and put it back in the tray 1. And what we're going to do here is, we know that the size of this paper is 12 by 18. We also know that the type of paper is heavyweight cardstock. So I have to scroll through and find it. And then I click on the one I want. Now, as long as that's correct, you hit OK. And what is going to happen is this is going to start to print. Now, I may want to do one page at a time, actually, so I'm going to pull this out. It is feeding. The reason why I want to do this is I want to control the front to back printing. Okay? Now, here is my piece. You don't see it. I have to turn it. This is called flipping on the long edge. Turn it this way. Print side up. Now, if it's on the short edge, you flip it top to bottom. And put it back in to the tray, and then it'll prompt and ask you, is that 12 by 18 heavyweight cardstock? We hit OK, and it should print the other side of the material to the paper. And I'm going to continue this process until I have all of my pages printed. Now, I'm going to look at this and make sure I have the front and back cover. This should be page 2. It is. That should be inside back cover. It is. I am going to bring another piece of paper and pop it in there. It's going to prompt asking what size and type, so I'm just going to hit OK because it is the 12 by 18 cardstock. Again, I'm doing one sheet at a time to ensure that I'm getting double-sided printing. Otherwise, it'll print your spread on one piece of paper, then another piece of paper will feed in and it'll print a second spread. It won't automatically do double-sided on heavyweight cardstock. Again, since this is something I need to flip on the long edge, I flip left to right or right to left. It just doesn't matter. Just don't go top to bottom here. I bring it back over, feed it back in, and I should get a prompt again. Now, if you don't get a prompt, sometimes, and it says warming up, sometimes the motherboard on these machines is not so great. We oftentimes have to go to shut this down using this button, wait for that screen to go black, and then we unplug the machine and plug it back in, or turn it off and on the power strip. Now, here's the second one. And I believe I have one more. So let me pop this in here. Again, I'm going to get the prompt. I hit OK. It's going to print. Maybe. Oh wait, no, it's not going to print because I have a total of 8 pages. Excuse me. So I have 4 pages each piece of paper, so that's 8 pages. So I really didn't have to do anything. Now, let's assume that we are done printing this job. You want to pull your special paper out, and you want to put back in the 11 by 17 for other students, especially students who are newer to this. It gets really confusing. They pay for printing and they don't get anything because they don't have the right paper in there. The prompt will come up. You want to change this back to 11 by 17 plain and hit OK. Remember to do that. Now, what I have here, I usually take time to actually fold it carefully. I score it and so on. I'm not going to be quite so careful this time just because of the demo. So I am going to just fold it kind of sloppy. You don't want it to fold sloppy. But you can actually see that I have the cover, the inside front cover, which is actually page 2, page 3. That's called a crossover bleed when you have an image that goes across. Then I have my center fold image. Then I have page 6, 7, and 8 is the back cover. Okay, so that we would typically score down the middle each of these pages, fold them, staple them with a bookbinder stapler, and the very last thing you would do is you would cut it. And I don't cut it flat like this. I fold it and cut it. That way, if I'm off on my cut, my pages will still go together. So hopefully you can figure that out. This is more about printing demonstration than it is assembly. So hopefully this has been of some assistance to you. And I'll do another video on maybe envelopes and some other forms of printing. So thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you guys out.